This podcast is presented by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Welcome to Shift into Better Health, the National Diabetes Prevention Program's podcast series for lifestyle change program enrollees. For folks who want to improve their health, have more energy, and prevent type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. The Lifestyle Change Program is proven to work. I'm your host, Captain Jack, radio personality and former professional truck driver. Each episode in this series is led by drivers for drivers and will cover a topic from the National Diabetes Prevention Program's Lifestyle Change Program. We'll talk about how to tackle challenges professional drivers face so you'll arrive at your destination a healthier you, faster and easier. In the last podcast, we talked about changing unwanted habits. This time, we'll focus on the aches and pains that are so common for many drivers. We'll discuss what you can do to prevent pain and how to manage it. My guest is Tanya Jolliffe. She's a registered dietitian who understands the unique challenges drivers face. That's because her brother has been one for more than 25 years. So Tanya, how common are aches and pains for professional drivers, especially as we get older?
Aches and pains are very common in professional drivers. Although there are many reasons why a driver would experience pain, there are also many solutions and strategies for avoiding those ailments as well.
A lot of drivers experience pain, from small achy discomforts to muscle tension headaches and shooting pains down the lower back. What should drivers be aware of?
Some of the best ways that drivers can prevent pain is recognizing where the pain comes from, first and foremost. Does it come from the physical activity? Does it come from the environment where they're sitting, how they're sitting? Does it come from their work habits? So you have to really take a look at your job, your individual responsibility, and how each of those environments, habits, and just the physicalness of your job impact the pain that you have. And that will be important for you to know how to manage the pain.
I have right here some typical causes of pain and discomfort for drivers. And I thought maybe we could do a speed round and you could just share some thoughts or advice on each one. Sound good? Okay, great. Let's start with improper lifting.
One of the things you want to consider is your lifting. Do you lack the muscle strength and tone for the level of lifting that you need to do? I worked with a driver one time and he would have to tarp his own load. And he was telling me about how much that was taking a wear and tear on his arms, his rotator cuff, his back. He didn't have the body strength for it. He was not physically ready to do that level of a job. And so we talked about the need for some strength training and stretching and toning of different areas.
How about body vibration?
Some trucks have really good absorbing seats and others don't. And sometimes the drivers need to be an advocate for their own health and ask for a better truck, or if you own your own truck, to put a better seat in there.
How about leaning, hunching, and rounding?
Being overweight puts additional stress and strain on your joints and your muscles. Some people have to sit really far away in an improper distance because their belly is too big. That is a motivation for weight loss right there.
Okay, thanks. I think we've covered everything on my list. So now we'd like to turn to skills needed for avoiding common trucker ailments.
Flexibility and stretching is really important and should be a daily thing. And let me tell you, I struggle with it too, just like everybody else does. You've got to flex them and you've got to stretch them several times a day, really each time you get out of that truck. Even walking from the cab into the restroom at the rest area. Do some stretching first, because if you just take out and run and it's cold or whatever, you can pull a hammy just getting out of the truck. Remember, the more we're building and using those muscles and using and building those joints and increasing flexibility, we're going to decrease the stiffness. We're going to limit the injury.
You know, as a professional driver, safety is the name of the game. You know how to prevent accidents on the road, and your health should be no different.
I would say it takes the most mindfulness for any driver to try to sit in an upright position with your hands at 9 and 3. You want to sit with your head and your shoulders, or your shoulders back touching the seat. And that means your seat's got to be pretty close. Move the headrest up and down and really just try to see, does this feel any different? You might need a lower back cushion
having a strong back has everything to do with a strong core. I try to lift my head up, look out, and hold engaged muscles for about 15 seconds. It seems to help a lot.
If you're stuck in traffic, as soon as you slow down and you're stuck in traffic, do a posture check. Am I sitting in a good position? If you get into the habit of doing that throughout the day, you will start to find out that you feel a lot different at the end of the day.
You know, Tanya, I'd like to also talk about what drivers should do when pain keeps them from moving.
Taking a really hot shower. After you come out of that shower, you can do some stretching because your muscles and everything are warmed up. And that's a really good time to do some stretching of ligaments and of joints and of muscles. If you're a walker and you've got injury, maybe see what you can do at your truck. Can you do push-ups against the truck? Can you do deep knee bends? The other thing is ice and rest. But if you're not able to fix it, if it's not able to be healed, if you're not able to recover, if it's still aggravated, you probably need to seek medical attention.
You also mentioned about how important it is for drivers to have protein, which helps support damaged cells and tissues.
Protein, veggies, and plenty of water. That will help facilitate growth and repair of tissue.
Okay, thanks, Tanya. Next, we're going to hear from 2 guest drivers who called in with their suggestions on ways to overcome pain. First is Dennis, who avoided moving because of pain, but found something that works with his routine.
I keep a jump rope in the trunk with me. I use it at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day. I use it to stay fit, but it also helps put me in better posture.
And here is Lewis, who finds time to stretch throughout the week.
I stretch for a few minutes every day beside my truck. I remember to bend my head forward, lower my chin to the chest until I feel a really good stretch. That helps me to prevent injuries.
Well, that's all for today, friends. I'd like to thank Tanya, Dennis, and Lewis for joining us and sharing their advice. Next time, we'll focus on fiber. In the meantime, take a hot shower to keep the body relaxed. And do posture checks at each stoplight. Remember that America needs you healthy. Your family needs you healthy. You need to be healthy to continue living this trucking life. We're on this journey together, every mile of the way. For the most accurate health information, visit cdc.gov or call 1-800-CDC-INFO.